Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. And don't forget, if you want to see more lives, you can also go over to my other channel, which I'll link below, and they are at later times during the day, and that is New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. So hope to see you there as well. So thanks for coming, and today let's start straight away. We've got lots coming up. We've got story time. That's a very different story time today. We've got quiz. We've got film footage, and today it's about doing fruit tree cuttings, how to propagate. So if you're interested in that, we have quote corner and question of the day as well. So let's go and see what we're going to start with today. Maybe this. Okay, story time today. I will share one of my dreams with you that I had in the last couple of nights. And if you don't know, there's a great playlist on this channel called Who Are You? It doesn't just go into dreams, but other forms of fun psychology. So it's all about what makes you, you. About how you look like you do, how you act like you do, and much more besides, but done in a fun way, but it is all factual. So I've done psychology, but it's a really fun way. There's sometimes quizzes on there and you answer the quizzes, and then I give you results based on your answers. Then I give results as to your personality and so on and so forth. So do check that out on this channel, the playlist Who Are You? So today I'm going to tell you my latest dream, and I can't remember all of it. If you want to remember your dreams, as soon as you wake up, write it down. Have a book by your bed, because even getting up and alerting your brain more and walking around your house to go and find pen and paper, you already start to dissolve your dreams. And just a basic thing of what your dreams are your brain sifting through, filing information and disregarding certain points. So you've only got certain capacity of your brain. Some of us exercise our brain and keep more parts of the brain open. But as you get older, you've got more and more input. So your dreams are sifting through all sorts of stuff and filing them either away in your subconscious, which is why sometimes you get deja vu, and sometimes they just disregard certain things. You're only going to want to remember things, which is part of dementia. It's not that old people often forget things, it's they're insignificant to what they want to remember. So your dreams are something to do with something in some shape or form that you have done, seen, has happened, or you've watched on TV, for example, and it's all that going through your brain. So the first bit of my brain, the first bit of my dream, I can't really remember, but it was something to do with I had to return a package. Now, I don't know what the package was because it was already wrapped up, ready to go. If you order from clothes catalogues, you'll know the sort of grey bag, plastic bag things come in. It was wrapped up like that. And as I say, I don't know if I dreamt the first bit of what it was or who it was from, but all I remember, the main part of the dream was it was all packaged up and sealed up, ready for me to return. And I wanted to return it to get my money back. As I say, don't know what it was, can't remember. But the main important bit of the dream was it said you can only get your money back if you return this form with it. Hello there, nice to see you. It's my second camera is now spying on me. So hello to you. I've got an alert when you come on. I'm not giving you any info, you mad person. So it was all packaged up. It said you had to send this piece of paper with it to be able to get your money back. And it said you must follow the rules of, this is my dream, by the way, if you're just tuning in, it's not real. You must send this bit of paper back, and you must send it back the way that it states that you must send it back. And it said you must send this bit of paper back, not inside the package, but it had to be attached with one thin elastic band round the package. Loose, not in an envelope, just the open sheet of paper with an elastic band, a thin elastic band, that was important, one thin elastic band round it, and if it returned like that, then you could get your money back. If you had any other thickness of elastic band, or if it was attached in any other way at all, secondary or instead of, you would not get your money back. And I thought, yes, you're going to return it. And then, of course, I say the letter piece was lost. So I took it to the post office to return it, to get it returned, and they said there's no way, this is some people are tuning in now, this is my dream, it's not real. I took it to the post office to return it, and the post office said no way could we return it with this bit of paper. Oh, there was a big search for a thin elastic band that would fit around the parcel before that. Anyway, the post office said, no, there's no way we can possibly return it like this, not with basically a loose piece of paper. It won't be able to go all through the system. It'll probably get torn out or shredded or pulled off. So I said, yes, but read it. And they read it and they said, no, that's nonsense. They know no way will that bit of paper get back to them, and then they won't give your money back anyway. So I said, well, what can I do? I want my money back. I agree with you. I can't send it back like this. What is your suggestion? And they said, well, you've got to put it inside or put another copy inside. I was like, no, it said if it doesn't come just like this on the outside, I said, it's obviously a loophole they're trying to get around. And then they had a brilliant plan. They said we could stamp it, like a stamp that you can get done. Not a postage stamp, but like a stamp like this with our post office address on it saying received. And we will stamp it partly across the paper and partly across the package itself. And then they said, then we can say you definitely did have it on there when it left this end. And they couldn't really get round it because you won't be able to do half of this big stamp. So I said, great, stamp it. That's the best thing we can do. And they were going to sign like a bit of paper to say the parcel had gone, like you could do almost a proof of postage. They were going to give me a bit of paper to say this was on there. So I said, great, do this stamping. And they said, sorry, we don't actually have one of those stamps here. And then the rest of my dream was going around from place to place. It was all on foot for some reason, no vehicle. I had to walk everywhere for miles and go and find each post office until I could find one with a stamp. So that is my story time today. That is my story time today. Did you enjoy it? If you did, let me know in the comments below. Okay, well, have a drink. Let's do Friday's Quote Corner. Okay, let's go on to this. Okay, so just a short one today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Only 5 questions. And this is a quiz on the Summer Olympics. We have done a quiz before on the Summer Olympics. Let's see how you do with this one. As usual, I'm going to read all the questions out, and then after that, I'll go back through the answers. So anyone watching live, if you want to put your answers in the comments, please do that. And everyone else who's watching back later, see if you can answer the questions before I get to the answers. The first question, how long is a steeplechase race at the Olympics? How long is a steeplechase race in the Olympics? I wouldn't know that. I don't really know. I know 500 metres was, I think it's 500 metres when you had to go around the whole track at school. I think that was 500 metres. I think, and that's about all I know much about running. Being a dancer, you would never do running. No, it's one of the worst things you could do for your knees and your joints. So dancers are not permitted to do running. Question 2. When was judo first included in the Olympics? When was judo first included in the Olympics? Now, I know this one. There's a reason I know the answer. I know nothing about judo, but I'll tell you when we get to the answer how I know this. So maybe now you can guess. If you know me, you can probably now guess the answer and get it correct as well. Okay. Question 3, how many lengths of the pool do swimmers in the 1,500 metre race have to swim? I'm not a sports person. I don't know this one. I don't find swimming races that interesting to watch. I don't like most sports to watch either. I like gymnastics. I like particularly the rhythmic gymnastics where they use either ribbon, hoop, skittle or ball. Some of those are very clever. And I like kind of the group dance, like the floor work ones and the group ones that they do. Synchronized swimming is okay, but they need some new moves in there. Okay, so how many lengths of the pool do swimmers in the 1,500 metre race have to swim? I guess if you know the length of the swimming pool, you could work that one out. Question 4. How much shorter is a woman's judo bout than a man's? I'm going to guess half the time, but I don't know how long a man's one is to give an answer to that. It's probably not half. Probably not half. They've got to deduct something off because poor women get so tired, bless them. I don't know why it would be shorter, to be fair. No idea why it would be shorter. Maybe it's not very much at all. Why would it be shorter? If anyone does judo, let me know why it would be shorter. And then the last question today. What fraction of the total gold medals for judo did Japan win in 2004? I'm going to say quite a large amount of what's available. I don't know. I think they do pretty well. In Cyprus, we do well at rifle, skiing. We don't have that much snow very often. Swimming. I think we are very good at judo or karate, one of those sort of things. We're very good at that, but then that's what boys tend to do here rather than football like a lot of boys do. The boys do judo here or taekwondo, and the girls do dancing more than gymnastics or anything else. So, yeah, we win that. What else do we win? Oh, I think it's sailing or something like that we're very good at. The Cypriots seem to pretty much win a lot of that in the Olympics. Okay, so the last question was, what fraction of the total gold medals for judo did Japan win in 2004? Okay, let's go over them from the beginning and I will give you my answers, or the answers, not my answers. Okay, the first question was, how long is a steeplechase race at the Olympics? I had no idea. 3,000 metres, apparently. 3,000 metres. The next question was, when was judo first introduced into the Olympics? Now, I said I knew this one. This is purely because I remember a lot of facts about the year I was born, and I was born in 1964, and I know that was when judo was first included in the Olympics. So you'll always remember that one now, 1964. Third question was, how many lengths of the pool do swimmers in the 1,500 metre race have to swim? As I say, if you know the length of an Olympic-sized swimming pool, you could work that out. The answer is 30. 30. The next question was, how much shorter is a woman's judo bout than a man's? And the answer is 1 minute. And as I say, if you know judo, why would the women's one need to be shorter? And particularly 1 minute, there's barely any different time at all. So why is that? Why is that? And the last question was, what fraction of the total gold medals for judo did Japan win in 2004? And I said a fair amount of them. The answer is half. Half. That's not surprising. And in fact, if it was even a larger amount, I wouldn't have been surprised by that either. So that's that. What should we do now? Let's do our Friday film footage next, and then I'll come back to you with some Q&As. So Friday film footage. And today, as I said, it's about tree cuttings, propagating tree cuttings. Yes, that was it. Here it is important for us to grow as much as we possibly can, fruit, vegetables and other crops. It is also important for us to regenerate those things that we do have to buy that aren't available in Cyprus. So we try to propagate more trees, more vegetables from seeds and produce that they grow. So therefore we are creating a food forest where we can create more trees, more fruits, more vegetables, and I'm going to share some basic tips today with you of how to grow more fruit trees from any stock that you do have to buy. Let's begin with hardwood cuttings. So this is currants, gooseberries, blueberries and grapevines, and these are increased by taking hardwood cuttings. The process doesn't need any propagators or any equipment other than a pair of secateurs or pruners and a sharp knife. And I always tell you, it is so important for success to always disinfect your secateurs or your knives between every cutting. So when is the best time to take hardwood cuttings? Well, this is usually autumn, preferably early autumn. You need to select a few shoots that have grown during the previous year, and you'll see they're now firm and well ripened. They need to be straight and about 30 centimetres or 12 inches long. to make sure you've got a sheltered site which is away from drying type winds and hot sun. You make a narrow trench by inserting a spade into the soil and pushing it to one side to open up a V-shaped slit. If your soil's heavy, then trickle some clean sharp sand into the bottom of the slit and then insert the cuttings. Place them about 15 centimetres, which is 6 inches apart. Plant them so that about half the cutting is below the ground. Then you place your spade into the ground about 10 centimetres, which is 4 inches away from the initial slit, and lever it so that the slit closes up, firmly holding the cuttings, and then of course firm down the soil gently with your feet around it. Be aware if you have any roots of fruit or other types of trees, it is best these days thought not to compact the earth with your foot around them. A lot of trees I grow in my garden, the roots are near the soil surface, so then don't do this if you're actually planting cuttings with roots. Then you'll find by the next autumn the cuttings should have rooted of these, and they can be dug up and then transplanted to a final position or moved to a nursery bed for another year. Let's talk about layering. Blackberries and hybrid berries are best increased by the process of layering. This is the same also for strawberries, although the later are usually obligating enough to do it by themselves, and that leaves you to transplant the new plants. At some time during your growing season, you will have a healthy blackberry cane that is long enough to touch the ground. This is the point where the tip makes contact with the soil. Then you need to dig a hole about 10 centimetres, which is 4 inches deep. Then place the tip in it and bury it by replacing the soil. If it is an exposed position and it's possible the cane will be blown or knocked out of the ground in any way, particularly by your animals, this can be a problem, then of course you can secure it with a peg, although this is not always necessary. Then you will find by late autumn the tip will have rooted. Cut the new plant from its parent shoot about 30 centimetres, which is 12 inches from the ground. Then dig up the young plant and transplant it to its rooting position. So you may be wondering why we start the trees off in different places, the cuttings. Well, this is obviously, you might have them in better protected areas to start them growing, but that's not where you actually want them to be. So that's where we do a safer place to start them, and then once they're strong and healthy, you can move them to a new position, much like after you would buy them from a garden centre, you reposition. Of course, if you want to grow some in pots, the young plant can then be transplanted directly into a pot. It is possible to cut out this stage by burying the tip of the parent cane into a pot of potting compost soil mix instead of a hole in the ground, and it will root just as easily. The pot can be let into the ground, which will prevent it from being knocked over and will not dry out as quickly as it would if you left it standing on the ground. Strawberries can also be treated in this way. After fruiting, as you may know, they send out runners which will drop roots at intervals along their length, and they produce the new plants. And to make sure they root, you can peg them down or cover a short length of the runner with soil. But this is sometimes unnecessary, as naturally the plant will root itself quite normally. Again, the runners can be pegged onto poster compost, a soil mix again if you want ready planted pots. Don't forget, some items can be reproduced using the method of division, such as raspberries. Raspberries are usually increased by division. It's a simple matter to lift some of the suckers that emerge a little way from the parent plant. In the autumn, dig up a healthy, strong-growing sucker, cut through the root that is still attached to the main clump, and then this is what you replant into where you want it to fruit. Not sure your plant is healthy, then it's better not to use it at all. A roundup of methods of propagation. Division is for blackberries, hybrid berries, raspberries and strawberries. Layering is for blackberries, hybrid berries and strawberries. Hardwood cuttings for blackcurrants, gooseberries, grapes, red currants and white currants. Semi-ripe cuttings for blueberries, and grafting can be used for all fruit trees. So this is an introduction to different ways of propagation. Look out for more in the series, and I will leave you with some pictures of my fruit and food forest. What are you growing today? Let me know in the comments below. What is your best fruit tree that you are growing? Until next time, Marathi. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was of some use to you, or if not, I hope you just enjoyed the footage. I make it a big thing that I use different sorts of footage sometimes to go with my tutorials for those who love my garden tours. And we've just got time today for one of these. So let's look at today's question of the day. Can you name your top 5 answer phone messages you'd record? Who uses an answer phone these days? Although I do make it a thing that just because my mobile phone rings does not mean I'm obliged to answer it. I don't like how people assume that everyone's going to answer their phone because it's an answer phone. It's for my convenience, not for other people's convenience. How many of you still have a landline, a home phone, I wonder? And how many of you have more than one mobile? Do you have like a family friends one, like a personal one, and maybe a work one? So your 5 answer phone messages. Well, I used to have, in the old days when you had a little tape with your answer phone, I used to have a little tape that was famous people, and then every now and then I'd switch it up. So you choose a famous voice to answer the phone and they would say something. So obviously you knew it was these famous people. And the one I used to use a lot was Basil Fawlty from John Cleese from Fawlty Towers. And I know he kept going, Sybil, why can't you answer the phone, Sybil? And that kind of thing. So I would probably use some of those. What would I answer? I don't like the ones I'm not here at the moment. Well, obviously you're not here at the moment. They've got to be funny and quirky. You could do something like, oh, I'm glad you phoned me because I've got amnesia and forgotten who I am. Please tell me who I am and then who you are and what your message is. Something like that. I would do that. What else would I say? What else would I say? I'd just say, you've got the wrong number. Please hang up and redial. Something mad like that. I've got to think of 3 more things to say. One could be like quote of today, and I would keep changing it, or quote of the week, or this month's quote, and then people ring you back just to get a positive quote. I would do the same, maybe joke of the day, and then people would just be phoning in for that. And one more. What would one more be? It's got to be another funny one. What else would I say? Something funny. What would you say? Would you keep yours serious? No. You could say you're somewhere really weird, I'm doing a round the world cruise and I'll be back next year. If it's important, ring the emergency services. I don't know, but there would be definitely funny ones for me. Do you have a message on your phone? Some of you might have phones where you can leave a message. Do you have that? In Cyprus, obviously, if you ring and someone doesn't answer, the message is a standard one from wherever the service is from, and it just says in Greek that there is no answer, so the person's not available right now. Try again later, but it's all in Greek. So if you rang me and I didn't answer, you wouldn't know what they were saying anyway. So let me know your answers, what you would say on your answers of your phone. And I'll go finish on that one because it's nice to end in a positive way. What are you going to do to make today great? And do something today that you will remember today for. Maybe you'll go and help someone. Maybe you'll just see someone struggling with their shopping bags and give them a hand. Do something good today. And until next time, have a pleasant weekend and see you here next week. Bye for now.